Morning, or it's nearly afternoon, I guess. It's out here, gonna just beautiful day. We had a string of storms coming through here, so I just thought I'd come out and do a little practice today. Nothing special. Just working on my handgun techniques, and if you ever have to use your handgun, you want to be able to know where you're gonna hit. You don't want to be hitting people you don't want to, because that could be a murder charge. So, hopefully you never have to use it, but I want to be proficient in it. So here we go. Just going to have a little fun out here and do some basics practice. Just start out nice and slow, one shot at a time. Very basics. You always want to be careful right here, not only drawing but returning your weapon. A lot of people get shot, and you don't want to get shot down here, especially if you're a man. So you want to really think about everything you're doing, and that's what I'm trying to do. Just practice those things. This is my Glock 19X. Love this gun. It's a 19, basically a 19 slide with a 17 handle. It's a great little self-defense pistol. So we're going to be, like I said, just doing practice today with a couple, 3 different pistols. And I just want to stay proficient. Well, that was it for the 19X. That wasn't great, but every day counts. Every little bit of practice helps. So, but anyway, here we go. I'm going to try the little Glock 42, little 380. Love this little gun. Actually, it's kind of my wife's carry gun now. But I still carry it sometimes, so I like to stay proficient at it. Unlike a lot of the 380s out there, these things are like little tack drivers. So at close range, but you can get a little farther away too. So here we go. Gonna shoot it up a little bit. Now this gun, and I have 4 Glocks now. So all 4 of my Glocks all have the same thing. They all have AmeriGlow sights with the single dot. I like the single dot in the rear, so you're just focusing on the front. They all have the titanium guide rod to reduce your recoil, which is super important. And then for this one and my 43X, I have the Hogue grip. I can't do a Hogue on my 19 or anything bigger. It's too big. My hands, I don't have very big hands. So, but it does work well here. And then we have a Pierce +1 extension, which gives you, for me, with small hands, it's almost like perfect. And especially women or my wife or anybody with small hands. So those are all of my Glocks. All have titanium guide rods in them. All have the same AmeriGlow sights. So any of my pistols I pick up all of them are familiar. All the Glock trigger pulls are, I mean, they're close. They're not exactly the same, but you know, I mean, when you wrap your finger around it, it's going to feel familiar to you. Um, and none of my triggers are modified. I just train with them the way they are. Um, but any of my Glocks I can pick up, and I'm looking at the same sight picture. Now I am considering for my 19X, I'm thinking about putting a optic on it, but I haven't done that yet. So any of my pistols I pick up, they're all as similar as I can make them, only maybe, you know, obviously a different caliber. So let's get some practice. Miss. Yeah. Now, a lot of people argue that a 380 just isn't enough. But you drill somebody with 5 rounds with a 380, or basically a short 9mm, they're going to be incapacitated. Let's put it that way. So I like to practice this way a lot, because this would be a scenario where you may have to use your gun for self-defense. Roughly 20 feet, and they say even less. The most common shootings are much closer, but I figure at this distance, if you can't hit from here, you know. But so I train from here. You'll see I do my draw here safely, learning, practicing muscle memory to do it safely, and I train like I would have to use it in public, because my biggest fear is to hurt somebody, an innocent bystander. So that's why I train this way. I mean, we could go out and you could shoot longer distance, and that's all fun. We love to do that, but this is what I'm here to do today, and you know, mainly like using your weapon in a self-defense situation. And I am no expert. I'm no expert. I've only learned from others on YouTube and people I know personally. So all I'm doing is practicing that. I'm not an instructor. I don't know everything, but I'm trying to become proficient. Alrighty, on to bigger and better things, or at least bigger. This is my Glock 20. I've had it for about 25 years, from when I lived up in the northern Rockies, and there was you weren't the top predator in the woods, let's put it that way. There was grizzly bears. So you want to carry a bigger caliber, although I wouldn't have to go at a grizzly bear even with a 10 millimeter, but that's one of the better rounds to protect yourself, that and pepper spray. So I still try to stay proficient at it. I don't carry it that much because it's so big. It's like a cannon. I call it the cannon. So but I do stay proficient at it. Does stay on my nightstand at home, so I may be grabbing it in the middle of the night. So here we go. This one I won't be holstering. I don't have a quick draw, any type of a quick draw holster for it, so not on me. So here we go. Bad. Can you believe I missed that first one though? Little 4-incher. Although you really don't need to do a lot of double tapping with a 10 millimeter. Usually one would probably be efficient. I hate that. A little 4-incher today is... All right. Now, last but not least, this is my EDC, everyday carry, and this is a Glock 43X, so it holds 10 rounds in the clip, or mag, I'm sorry, and 1 round in the chamber, which I do carry 1 in the chamber. It's got a Hogue grip on it. Because it is a single strack, the Hogue grip doesn't make it too big for my hand. It's like perfect. And this one, I don't need a weapon is clear. I don't need an extension because my hand isn't big enough to require it anyway. You can get extended mags for these. In fact, you can get up to a 15 round mags, I believe. You have to modify your release for those mags, but I just decided to just carry with the stock 10 round single stack mag. I love this gun. It fits me really nicely. I was debating between this one and 2 other ones for the subcompact 9, the Hellcat and the FIN Reflex, which I'm sure are both great weapons, but I was toying back and forth, and I finally watched a video on YouTube, and I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody that said, hey, if you shoot mostly all Glocks and then you want to carry a Hellcat or the Fin Reflex, there's going to be a massive difference in trigger pull between those 3. And when you get in a situation and all the adrenaline is flowing, you want to turn your brain off and just go by muscle memory and reflex. And if you're used to pulling a Glock trigger and now all of a sudden in a life or death situation you pull out your FN Reflex, and I'm not bagging on them at all, it's a great weapon, I'm sure, but it's got a different pull, and you pull one off before you're on your target, and shoot somebody, that's a bad thing. That kind of defeats the purpose. So I decided after quite a bit of thought to just stick with the Glock. I know they say these are terrible triggers, but I just train with it. I'm that type of a guy. I'm that way with my dirt bikes and a lot of my stuff. I just ride it stock. If it's no good, then I'll change it. But most of the things nowadays works just fine stock. You don't have to go modify everything to death. So, and you'll see in these videos, I just rode 5 rounds in my mags, and that's how I like to practice, because the cost of ammo nowadays is so expensive. You load up your mag, well, this one only holds 10, but you load up your mags with 17, 18 rounds, you go through a box in no time. So I would rather, I run five rounds at a time, and I really concentrate. This is like training, so I really concentrate what I want to do with those 5 rounds. I'm thinking about every movement I make, and I shoot those 5 rounds. I may shoot them at a different target sequence, but I may double tap, I may single tap, just draw. But after you shoot those 5 rounds, it gives you an opportunity to turn around and think about your shooting, think about your technique, think about what you did right and what you did wrong, and then be able to correct it and work on it. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. So that's what we're doing here today. Here we go. For my holster, I like the leather. This is can't even read it without my glasses on. Sorry about that if you're the manufacturer. But I like the leather because in the summertime you don't have the got one shirt. It's hot, so I just have one shirt over the top, nothing underneath. So whatever is back here is what's going to be riding on your skin all the time. And so I'd much rather, I like this leather much better than Unreal. Well, I was showing that holster right there. Some dirtbag looking dude pulls right up to my truck. Don't know what he's doing out here. He never looked at me or acknowledged me, and I'm glad for that. But it seems like he can't go anywhere now, without some lunatic destroying your peace. Let's get back to shooting. Okay, here we go. It's the last 5. Before I shoot these, I want to get, I just want to say, like I said in my last video, we have a very important time that we have coming up this weekend to remember our risen Lord Jesus Christ. And we have Good Friday. It's the day he went to the cross for us and suffered in the most horrible death and torture. And then after what we saw, like I said, he went to hell, and it was just horrendous. He took the weight of sin of the entire world on his shoulders and took it to hell and left it there for you and for me. And this weekend is a time when we remember that. And on Friday we call it Good Friday. It's the day that he went to the cross and endured that severe torturing. I mean, the movie that came out with Mel Gibson, The Crucifixion, that's bloody as can be, but it still doesn't even do justice to what Jesus went through for us, for you, and for me. He's the one who affords us these freedoms to stand out here and shoot or whatever. It's freedoms from God. The freedoms that were written into our Constitution and the freedoms that were written in by our forefathers in the Bill of Rights, given to us by God. And that's why I'm able to stand here today and film this and talk to you guys about Jesus, our risen Lord. And then, of course, on Sunday, we get to celebrate the fact that he was risen, that he got up and got out of that tomb. And he is waiting to take us to heaven with him. So just remember that this weekend. And it isn't just a 3-day weekend to go out and party or shoot or whatever. A little bit of that's okay, maybe, but just remember what Good Friday is and why we're celebrating. And we're not celebrating the death of Jesus, we're celebrating the life that came from his death. And I just ask all of you to think about that and remember it. And if you're seeking the Lord, just all you have to do is ask. All you have to do, you don't have to get on your knees. I mean, it's not bad to get on your knees. You can get on your knees, but you can just stand there and just cry out to God, and he'll hear you. He knows your heart. He'll come to you. And when you ask for it, he'll justify you. He'll give you salvation. It's a free gift. It's absolutely free. There's nothing you can do to earn it other than to believe. That's it. That's all he asks, is for you to believe. That's not difficult. So believe and allow Christ to take control of your life with the guarantee that you'll be living with him for eternity in heaven. Or the other option is eternity in darkness, hell, without God. To me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's not difficult. Just remember, the Lord loves you no matter where you're at. No matter where you're at in your life, no matter what you've done. There's only one unpardonable sin, and I doubt that you've committed that sin. That unpardonable sin is above murder. So I doubt that the majority of us have not committed that sin. In fact, some people say that it's almost impossible to commit that particular sin at this time. So I just urge you, if If you're on the fence like I was, I rode the fence for many years, thinking I could have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. God wants your commitment. And that's all he asks. After that, he takes care of you. So with that said, I just hope that all of you have a good, safe weekend. All the churches out there, as many of you know, I'm a Calvary guy, Calvary Chapel. Go to Calvary Chapel. Love Calvary Chapel. Love everything about it. Love Chuck Smith, the founder. But I just urge you to find a church, a good Christian, Holy Spirit-filled church, and you can go there and receive comfort, receive your nourishment, and that'll bring peace. So many people are seeking peace, taking drugs, and none of that's going to work. None of your secular counseling is going to work. The only thing that's going to work is Jesus and the peace that he gives us when we ask for it and we seek it, and we just let everything else go and we seek Christ and we get behind him. So I'm no preacher. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, I was saved 30 years ago now, over 30 years. But it was a hard path to get to where I'm standing right here today. Over those years of learning and the trials that brings learning. And some of them were pretty ugly. So anyway, you out there have a blessed day, blessed weekend, and I just want to thank you for watching these videos. If you enjoy this content, like and subscribe. Let me know if you like it or you don't like it. Like I said, these are just videos about my life and things that I do, nothing special. I like to stay active. I'm almost 64 years old. I'm extremely blessed to be able to not have to work. Generally, I do work. I work at the church. I work for Jesus. And I love it. I love every minute of it. I can't wait to do more of it. And I hope he blesses me with many years to do more of it. So again, thanks for being here. Have a great weekend. I'm going to shoot one more 5 rounds here. Got that 4-incher.